He tells his class, my mom is an American singer-songwriter, so I'm going down in history. That right there is priceless.
So today I have R&B singer, songwriter, radio and television personality Lil Mo in studios. Thank you so much for dropping by.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today? You are in the city that's been
Yeah.
open. Open.
Yeah, open. For real. Y'all said panini where? Pandemonium what? Nah, this was the last place I was literally the day before the world shut down for good. So Atlanta is up. Like, y'all did not miss a beat. People kept their social distance, and I see very little to no mask. But I ain't hear about no cases coming out here. So y'all must have sprayed something in the air that's like, oh, ain't that much corona. If it was here, it was from somebody else that flew in. Cause I be walking around with my mask, and the people be looking at me like, you ain't from here, is you? I ain't from here, but I come here. Hello.
Yeah. See, and it was funny because it was the opposite for me. So I'm from New York, and I recently went back to New York 2
What
weeks
part?
ago. So I'm from the Bronx.
My mom is
Born
too.
and raised.
Oh,
What
wow.
part of the Bronx?
She's from the South Bronx. She
So
was
I
from
was
the Andrew Jackson Projects.
okay, and I grew up in Hunts Point.
Wow.
6 train.
Oh, it's lit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just moved out here 2 years ago
Okay.
to Atlanta, but it's funny because I always go back home so often. So I was back there 2 weeks ago, and they knew I didn't live there no more because I never had my mask, and they're like, "You need to wear your mask." You know, in New York we don't
New York,
play.
yeah, New York is real different because when it first started, I remember like first of all the clubs and the dinners and everything that nightlife shut down.
Yeah.
So that's like one thing. So when you like, hey, where can I go after 10 o'clock? You're not going nowhere. But if you don't have on your mask, they'll know that you're technically an outsider because they've been wearing masks. It just seems like New York always gets hit first.
Yeah.
Like they set it off, but I don't understand why they're literally still in the pandemonium. Period.
But anyway, I'm so happy to have you here today
Thank you.
because I am a fan of your music.
Thank
I loved
you.
you on Love and Hip Hop. So
Thank you.
I do want to start off with your song "Broken Heart," your single. I love that song.
Thank
You know,
you.
it made me feel like the real R&B vibe. Like I felt like I really had a broken heart. I was like, damn, I'm about to yell at somebody right now.
But you know what's crazy is even though that's the title, everybody automatically or initially thinks, oh, this has to do with a relationship. Your heart could be broken even in the midst of a pandemic.
Right.
Like everybody was on punishment. Everybody was in the house. Nobody was really allowed to go nowhere. Even though people was like, well, I'm an essential worker. I sell weed. They thought that was essential. Hey, whatever you feel that you needed to do because nobody was used to being in the house. And when I finally had to sit still, like I was like, my heart is broken. I don't know how to sit still. So it's basically anything that you're used to doing and it's breaking habits. So we say broken heart, but it's honestly breaking habits, if you so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, what inspired that record? And did you write the song? Because I know you get crazy with the pen.
Oh, the pen is still crazy, but honestly, with this go round, I wanted to be sure that I was completely like creative. So my manager actually wrote the song.
Wow.
So we recorded it on my birthday, and that was like, I guess my birthday gift, you know, going to the studio because couldn't go nowhere else. I ain't got no passport. You ain't going outside. Sit your ass down. But it was just like, you know, coming from a place of doing anthems and songs that still are transcendent to and still going strong in this generation now that we have it all on streaming platforms. It was like, come back with a record that's true and that's personal, but it's also gonna, you know, basically touch everybody. Because I could do an anthem all day. We could do Superwoman's and we could just do I Cries and Put It On Me's and Can't Let You Go's, Hot Boys. I can sing for everybody else, but I've never sang for myself. And then let what was going on inside of me come out to the world, and everybody be like, yo, like, dag, I've been there, and you don't realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, that song was really, really good, and like I said, it brought me back to that R&B feel because I was like singing my heart out. But it was really, really good, and to hear that your manager wrote it too is I think absolutely amazing because you guys always have had such a good relationship. Now, like you said, your pen still goes crazy. What is the process like for you when you go into the studio to lay down a track?
Now it's a way different process because so many things have changed. Music has changed, studio time has changed. So we used to be in a studio back then hours and days doing one song, and we realized, you know, it's a new day, it's a new era, it's a new sound, it's new technology. All you need is give me 3 hours and it's up. So we literally will go in. I'll drop my kids off at school, going from 10 o'clock, and by 2 o'clock we out of there because I got to be back to get them from school. Now that the whole world has changed between virtual and hybrid, so I'm still trying to figure out how I still even know how to sing because I have forgot so much. When you realize that when you have people's attention, you got to strike while the iron is hot and don't try to put out no song and wait a year later like we used to be. I'm going to put out this song and run it for 6 months. No, we're going to keep them hits coming. It's not really a strenuous process like it used to be before. So now it's like go in, record the song, whatever you vibing, whatever you feeling, or whatever we think the market needs. Because everything we test. Because I've put out songs, just to test with social media to see what people gravitate to. And that's the great thing about social media is you can see what's going on and you could pretty much put the medicine in the candy. So Broken Heart can be a pandemic anthem. Like, man, we all coming outside. We don't want that PTSD. We don't want our hearts to be broken. We don't know what's going on when we come outside. We have to social distance, no human contact no more. We all going through it. So we just try to do things now conducive to what's going on, even though you still have to set the tone.
So true. And now Broken Heart is a single. Are we getting an album after that? Are you in the process of creating more music to put out a body of work?
Definitely. Broken Heart is the segue to the album Savage Heart. Now, a lot of people that have been following my journey, like literally we started recording Savage Heart about 2 years ago. Had to take a year off. So I would say collectively we've recorded, it's been a lot of music, but everything shut down last year, so we had to take a hiatus. And we picked back up because so much has changed. I don't even like the way that sound no more. You know what I'm saying? Pre-pandemic. But I realized, the world hasn't heard it yet. So let's just tweak it and make it sound conducive or current. So it's just like, we've been working on this album hands-on for 2 years. And I'm independent now with the Faculty Music Group, which is another blessing because now I don't have to worry about, they gonna hold my music. No. Push play is up. I'm so used to having a machine. But I realized I'm the machine. They can't move unless I say go, period. So now you just have to get it. I literally am out here working because I want it more than anybody wants to give it to me.
And it's true. You are the machine because at the end of the day, while you do have this big backing behind you, it's your voice, it's your skill, it's your talent, it's your music.
Your life, your blood, your sweat, your tears. I look back so many times, I'm like, damn, I know people was grinding out there with me, but nobody bled, nobody sweat, nobody cried, nobody. When I take these lashes off and this gloss come off and I have to be, nobody was there. So it's just like you have to do what's best for you. Not saying that people didn't work hard. I'm never gonna discredit anybody that's been a part of the movement, but nobody had to endure what I did behind the scenes. So I realized if you want it to go up, you gotta think it and do it.
Yep, you gotta manifest it.
Period.
100% manifestation.
There you go. That part.
Now for Savage Heart, I'm not sure if you have any features yet, but is there someone or some people that you would like to work with on this album?
Sure, there's a lot of people that I like, but one thing I would say is reintroducing, because it's almost like I'm a whole new artist. It's a whole new world out there. My songs, Superwoman and Forever, like, that song is older than my daughter. She about to be 19. So I'm like, ooh, Lord, these songs is good. It's time for some new, fresh oil for the people. But at the same time, I realized that there's a lot of people that are just now hearing my sound, and those songs are coming back as if they never been out before. Some things are getting a whole new life, and I'm glad that I have a whole new life. So far as features, I'm mainly focused on myself because I would feature on everybody else's stuff. And someone told me the other day, was like, you know what, Mies? The only person you probably could do a verses with would be Nate Dogg. Rest in peace to him. Because you really commemorated and was a part of and sang and wrote and, just basically it's nobody you could go against unless it's a dude that was doing the same thing. I was just like, dang, I never thought about it like that. So that's a gift. So that's why I realized I have to keep going. So far as features, I'll tell you which lane I'm trying to go in now because we got Broken Heart and we got Shining Star and so many songs coming. Like, I'm chasing after Bruno Mars. He lit, but I want that spot.
Bruno
I don't
Mars.
see why not. Like, I've done all the other lanes. I've created a lane. I'm just like, who? Like, he up there.
Yeah.
So I just got to learn some moves and how to, dance. Then it's up. But I would love to do a song. I like what he has going on with Anderson .Paak. I like Black, which I was saying his name wrong for years.
Black.
I was calling him Slack, and that's maybe why he ain't. That's probably why he ain't check his DM because I'm like, yo, let's work. Period. Because my kids be telling me who's hot. It's a lot of people I like. I like I actually just did a song with Malibu Mitch. It's a lot of the new young artists that's been running around and doing their thing. And I'm real cognizant that somebody gave me a chance. I never would have thought I'd be walking out the mall drying my nails over 20 years ago and they said, Missy Elliott said, call her. You feel me? So me reaching back and making sure that somebody in this generation has a chance to survive in this industry 20 years, 30 years, however long, is given. Like, that's who I'm reaching out to. I love the vision and the movement of Coily Ray. Because people are like, oh, she don't sing. She was like, I ain't no singer. Bitch, I'm an entertainer. I'm an artist.
Yep.
So don't put me in no box. And I love that this generation is saying, don't box me. Because people put me in the R&B box at first, but then they put me, oh, she look like a rapper, but she don't put me in no box.
Yep.
Because I'll bust out with a country tune or a gospel tune, or I'll just bust out and sing I'll do a song, a whole song in a whole nother language. Don't play with me. You feel me? So whoever's lit.
Yeah, and when you mentioned Bruno Mars, I would love to see that collaboration because
Baby, that'd be lit.
Bruno can sing.
People be sleeping.
Lil Mo can sing too, okay?
Baby, can you imagine Bruno Mars?
Ooh.
That'd be
Could
lit.
you
But I'm
imagine
gonna
that
let him finish off that his project with Anderson Paak, and maybe he'll holler back. Cause I'll be like, how do y'all get in contact with people? I'm so shy. But they were like, Mo, like, your Mo. I'll be like, yeah, well, I don't want them to just think I'm playing. Cause I'd be serious. I'd be like, let's, and people
Slide
like,
in
let's
those
do
DMs.
it. Then I don't want to be talking about some hey. I
Lil
what's
Mo
crazy?
was up in my DMs.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know how to slide in somebody's DM. Like, I don't slide. So I'm just like, what I'm supposed to say? Hey, Bruno Mars, I like your song. So let's work. He feel like, this ain't really you. So he just got to know that it's up and it's stuck, and I'm trying to go on that tour. Period.
Could you imagine? Come on, let's speak into an existence. We're going to get a Lil Mo and Bruno Mars collab. Okay.
There it go.
Speaking into an existence.
Yep. I believe that. I receive it.
Now, to go back to Broken Heart, you have such a big heart, and you've been so transparent about your journey with love. And my question to you is, how do you still find the space to still give love?
Great question. Well, my actual last name is Loving, so it's sort of like I ain't had no choice, but it's like, that's how I was raised. I was raised on love, and I know how to survive. I've said this numerous times before. There are people who are raised off love and survival. Those who are raised off survival don't know how to love, but they can live. So you can throw them in the wild, and they're gonna eat. But those that are raised off love and survival, we just balance it out. So there was a time I was just in straight survival mode, and I realized I was in situations where there was no love attached, and I just had to get it how I lived it. But now that I realize one thing from my foundation is love, it's like, no matter what, don't ever give up on love, because God is love. And if he never gave up on you, or whatever you believe, the universe, he, whatever the case may be, there's something out there that never gave up on you. So don't give up on it. Love never hurt you. People did. Love never stole from you. People did. Love never did you wrong. People did. And the reason why I have to take full accountability is because I allowed it. The access that I was allowing people, I was just like, wait a minute. I would never allow a stranger to do this. Why am I allowing people that I know to do this? But I still love them from a distance. I was loving people and just thinking like they would change. No. Some people, I have a new outlook on everything. Let that shit go. Let that shit burn. Let it flow and level up. And the more you love, the more blessings you get.
No, I agree. And I think that's beautiful for young men and women to hear, because there's so many people out there that have been in situations where, there's the running joke of like, there's some men out there that they get their heart broken in 4th grade. Now all of a sudden they can't trust women.
PTSD.
Now they got PTSD and stuff like that. But there are women and men out there who I do believe have been seriously hurt by a relationship and feel like they'll never love again. So to hear that, I think is beautiful, to show it's okay to love and it's okay to be loved.
And it's sad that some people won't ever give love a chance or a try because something that's happened in the past. Now, the part where people take it too far is when they get into the physical domestic abuse or violence. That's not love. But so many people are so used to that, and that's embedded in their head, that's what they think that love is. I've had a female say to me, her man didn't hit her, so she thought he didn't love her. I said, whoa. But her grandmother taught her that. We all deserve to be loved. So you can't give up. It's like infinite love. And that makes me so sad. People, oh, you done been divorced 3 times. Are you ever going to get married again? I might not get married again, but I ain't never say I wasn't going to fall in love again. Hello? Period.
Now, again, going back to your journey, you've been very transparent about, like you said, being married 3 times, and you recently got out of a very toxic relationship.
Baby, let me tell you, yes.
What advice would you give to young women out there who are currently in toxic relationships and may not know how to get out or may not be ready to get out?
I read something that said when you get to a place of peace in your life where toxic is no longer entertaining and peace is no longer boring. Those who know war respect peace. So once you get to a place in life where you're like, I'm not entertaining that, it can no longer dwell there. Toxic, you know something is toxic where whenever you have to change your tone of voice or when you have to get on defense mode, that's a natural human instinct. Toxicity, it shifts your spirit. It changes the atmosphere. It gives me a headache.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just does something to my inner peace that I will no longer allow. So I'm not telling people to do what I did because to each his own. Some people do. Some people are perfectly fine with being the toxic one. I'm not. That's why I said to my son, broken heart, is this karma paying me back? What did I do wrong? Are you sure about that? Sometimes you got to get a place of your lowest and your brokenness. And the only person you could turn to is God and be like, okay, what did I do? Because I don't remember doing this to anybody that I deserve this.
I think it's so important what you said about there being like a shift in your energy because you've spoken about that too, about when you were in that toxic relationship, how you became aggressive and you started to come out to people and say, hey, I want to fight, or like you were always on go. Can you tell me a little bit about that time and what that was like for you?
I was on go. I'm not gonna even hold you. I'm gonna be real and transparent because I want to help somebody, because this is what saved my life. Is that looking back, and it was never no footage or no video, thank God to that, because everything now makes the internet, and then you have to give a rebuttal and be like, oh, why did I do that? But there was positions and there were places that I was in and I would be on defense mode because I could feel the energy. But half the time, the only way that the enemy is allowed to come into your space is because they're invited. Nobody can't just walk up to you unless they just on some weird shit. Just walk up to you and just be like, hey, yo, Kayla, what the? And you be like, wait a minute, what made sis think that somebody invited that?
Yeah.
So if you with your friends, if you with your fiance, if you with your family, and somebody just walk up on some and say your name, who entertained this demon that think that they could come past my, because it's personal space that's allowed. I believe it's 3, it's about, this is personal space. Now it's 6 feet. So somebody crossed that line, it's up. But I was places where I remember I was at I think it was like a lounge, getting my life. Me and my friends, we danced. All of a sudden, it's like, well, I'll fuck you and your bitch up. No, you not, bitch. And I remember saying, I will blow your fucking head off. And when it gets to that point, and I forget about all the things I have to lose and my children and the risk. It wasn't worth the reward. So you know what I said? Time to go. Because I know how I used to roll. I know once I don't sell wolf tickets. Once I put it out there, you got to back that shit up, because you don't know how they go, oh, she said she gonna. And then it got to the point where someone that I trust was like, Mo, you better than that. And that's where the point I had to say, when it started interfering with my peace, that's when I had to cut it off. And that's the part I wish a lot of people be ready to really rumble. But I've been seeing so much. I'm like, God, you saved me from a lot of hurt, pain, shame, and embarrassment and death.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was going to say that also, that it's amazing that you are here to tell your story, because not a lot of people get to tell their side of the story. And you've been very open about being in a domestic violent relationship. Yeah. And so while I'm sure that was such a hard time for you, you're out of it. And by the grace of God, you're here to tell your story and to give advice to young women.
This peace is certain peace. Peace can't be paid for. It can be prayed for. And you can't ask God to deliver you or take you out of anything. And I'm not trying to be preachy or deep, but I realize there has to be a place that you have to come at a peaceful level. Oh, I'm still with all the dumb shit. Like, if it's up, period. But I just realized you don't have to be the mascot for dumb shit.
Yeah. Do you feel that you've suffered any PTSD from your past relationship and being all of that? Oh, yeah, I done been to therapy and everything. They the one told me. Because I was like, you know what? You'll think, oh, I'm good, but you don't realize a broken heart is PTSD. Yeah. Anytime, like, I'm so close, I have a ESA, a emotional support animal.
me leaving her, like, my heart is broken because I'm just like, I know even though we don't have a set schedule, we have a schedule that we do, and my body is on go to Starbucks every day. So when I'm out of that, it's not that I'm gonna, oh my God, I'm so dramatic, and no, it's just like a piece of me. It just feels like, damn, a piece of me is missing. So I just like encourage everybody to, wherever your piece is, that's where you should be also. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm pushing. So not trying to be preachy or deep, or because everybody just like, yes. I'm looking at my comments. You just have to get up to a place of peace. When I was on therapy, like, they'll send you emails for things to read. But Core Digest mostly deals with narcissism. And a lot of people say, oh, there's people that's just, no, narcissism is real.
It is. 100%.
There are people that are manipulative and you'll think they're angels, but we entertain demons unaware. Be very clear. There are a lot of narcissists and they look like they're so peaceful and they blend right in, but that behavior pattern. So it's just like, it's so many things that I'm speaking up and out and against because I allowed it for so long. I was like, if I feel like I've fooled so many people by acting like everything was okay, not perfect, but like everything was okay, and it wasn't.
You also opened up about being addicted to opioids.
Yeah.
When did that start for you, and what was it exactly?
That started for me, I would say, when I first entered the music industry, because
Really?
Yeah, when you're around, it literally, it'll start off like, hey, let's smoke some weed. Next thing you know, it's just like you want to get higher and higher. So it's not like people walk around, because I've driven past places, even down, just riding around in Atlanta, because I love to see and look and watch. There's a lot of people who have millions and millions of dollars who are happy, and then the people that don't have any money and are at peace. Mm-hmm. So I realized that once I got into the industry, it's not a peaceful place. You got to fight for everything that you want. So the opioids were introduced to me early in the game, and it started off as cool as recreational. Mm-hmm. Then once I had children, they give you, because I had 5 cesareans. C-sections ain't nothing to play with.
I had 1.
I had 5.
And I was devastated.
For real?
Yeah.
I won't have it. I don't want nothing falling out my purse. I'm sorry. All my kids, my daughter was 8 pounds, 13 ounces. All of my kids was 9 pounds or 8 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So I was all baby.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it was just like, after the first one, and I didn't die after that, I acted all dramatic, I realized I'll just have elective cesareans, because just the way my body is built, that was because of the way I would carry them, I would have back pains and stuff like that or whatever. Then it would come to a point where I just had personal pains and problems. So it went from doctor prescribed to people giving them to me buying them. And it was Percocets, Xanax, codeine, promethazine, you name it, I had it.
Yeah.
But they were all medical opioid pills. Anything that you take more than 21 times is a habit. Anything after, 21 times is a habit. Anything after that is an addiction. And when I ride around and I look at people, what I see going to these clinics trying to get off, because when you're weaning off or coming off, you can't just stop cold turkey. Your body will literally
have a seizure.
Yeah. And it's the worst feeling. So they'll tell you to scale back, and then they'll give you Suboxone. Mm-hmm. The sad part is you'll get addicted to Suboxone because it gives you the same high, but you don't want the opioid. But then your body naturally doesn't want to go through the pain. I would say that it got out of hand in my last relationship because I really was numb to everything, and I really didn't want to deal with nothing else. So I felt like that balanced me out with everything. And it honestly made me worse. It makes you aggressive. It makes you angry. It makes you uncontrollable. Now, I can get up and do an interview and you would never know. But once the interview's up, I'd be like, yo, I need my, Wow. And it got to the point where I didn't like the way that it was affecting my attitude. So I had, enough is enough. Not only is it costly financially, it's costly emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It cost me more than I was willing to pay after a while. And that's why I've been speaking up and out against that. So I've been clean going on 2 years. So when people used to be, I was clean, I used to laugh and be like, ain't nothing. But when you realize if you're taking it longer than 10 years, your body doesn't just automatically get clean after 2. Yeah. I just refuse to take them anymore. So if I can't drink a ginger ale or take an Advil for a headache, it's just going to stay.
Yeah.
and we'll just figure it out. So I found more holistic ways of, but that detox and that withdrawal for anybody that's watching, it's hell.
Being a celebrity and coming out about, being addicted to opioids and then coming out of that, I do want to ask you about the whole DMX coverage. So, as a journalist myself and seeing how the media, everyone including, which is blogs, news, and seeing how they were reporting DMX's passing, it was sad because this legend, I feel like, wasn't getting the proper coverage that he should have. This man suffered a heart attack, and yet people were focusing on
Everything
the
else.
fact that, oh, well, he suffered from a drug overdose, but the family didn't come out and say that. They said that he just suffered a heart attack.
Yeah.
Then a New York Post reporter thought it was a good idea to write an article on all of the houses that he's lost throughout his career. And then how people were saying, oh, he passed, but he didn't really pass, and how people were just really focusing on his history of drug abuse. And so my question to you is, because I'm not sure if when you came out about that, if you had a lot of bad press or people were kind of dehumanizing you, but what do you think the media can do better when it comes to reporting and covering stories of celebrities dealing with drug addiction?
I don't know why that lady felt the need to talk about what he's lost. I'm like, well, sis, you ain't never had none of that. So why is that your concern? One thing I realized is that not just in the music industry, but in the world, if you drive around, you look at the signs and you can see the billboards. Opioid addiction is real. Yeah. Any type of addiction is real. So anytime someone would try to slander or slight anyone that has dealt with demons, and that's the only way that you could fight through it, is like, because we don't know. I'll say for me, I don't know how I would have handled things if I didn't take. I might be locked up right now. I just think that people should just be realistic in what they report, because everyone has a choice and you just never know. That might be you one day. You never know what someone is going through. So you can say what you want about bad. We're going to jump on your ass if you say something crazy, because everybody that has come in contact with that man, he always prayed for.
Yep.
I used to see him at the airport. Mo. What's good? All the time. I've seen him talk to dogs, bark at them, and they sit. So I don't have anything negative to say, and I'm not going to even indulge in anybody that has anything negative to say about someone that I know personally, because I know how I get. I'd be like, where's she at? But we off that. So it's just like, I just think everybody should be, you don't have to be sympathetic, but be more empathetic with how you approach, because you don't know what he's going through and he went through, and what the family may be going through now that they lost the king.
Just to see the reporting on him, like, this is really like a hip-hop legend, and I just feel like they failed him in so many ways by putting out these really senseless articles that had nothing to do with what.
Yeah, now everything is clickbait, and they just being weird, because I'm like, where were these people at? Like, who are these people? I bet you they never even knew him in real life, and if they did, they would be respectful.
Right.
Of his legacy. That's why I had to change my narrative. I want people to respect my legacy. Don't talk about, oh yeah, because I heard she ain't that's the one that used to. Don't bring it up. Don't do that, because that's when you do that, you're still gonna have to give an account for that evil that you spoke over. So be careful.
I agree.
Be careful.
So I want to switch gears for a little bit and talk about Love and Hip Hop. So you were on Love and Hip Hop. You were a fan favorite. What was that like working on Love and Hip Hop?
It was fun. It was an experience. I used to watch the show, and then actually being a part of it is totally different, because you film so much footage, and then the stuff that makes it, that's for any reality show that I've been a part of. You be like, oh, I wish I would have worn my hair different that day because my edges wasn't laying and nobody told me. So that's probably like the only downside that I would see to it. But at the end of the day, I got out of it what I was supposed to. I gave what I was supposed to have gave, and I kept it moving. I only did one season, and I kept it moving, because I realized that show was so fast paced, and that's New York. Do not play. And it was like, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, moving on.
Now, would you go back
to reality TV?
Yeah, or to Love and Hip Hop? Because you also did Marriage Boot Camp.
Yeah, I did that. I did R&B Divas LA. I have had so many shows offered, even over the pandemic. I didn't turn down stuff, because if it's not conducive or like part of my glow and my story. Not like, okay, so today we're gonna be having lunch with, like, I know I don't be eating lunch with everybody every day anyway. Like, let's do some stuff that really happens. Like, I like real stuff. So until it can really showcase me, my artistry, my get back, my glow up, and put some respect on my name, not just have it look like, well, damn, every time she get on the show, it's a new relationship. No, we ain't doing that no more.
Don't do that.
Period. We off that. So it's a whole new glow. That's what I would love to showcase and push. Other than that, it's no sense in me going backwards. No, we're not doing that no more.
Yeah.
Without I have to be at the end and be like, okay, I look cute right there.
Yeah, you'd have to be like an executive producer.
Period.
To get Lil Mo back on TV.
Period.
And the check gotta be right.
Period.
You mentioned your kids. Everyone knows you have 5 children, and they all range in ages. How old are they, and what was it like for you? Because since you stepped in the industry, Mo has not stopped working. But yeah, you have 5 children. So what was that like, juggling 5 children, but also continuously working and not stopping?
I got 2 adults and 3 kids. So I gave birth to 5, but one is 18, one is 16. And I have 3 sons. So I have 2 daughters that they're the oldest ones, and my sons are 12, 8, and 5. And I honestly, to this day, I cannot tell you how I made it or how I did it, because in between it was so much going on, but I kept going. And I never realized how much I needed this pandemic to slow down and just regroup, refocus, because I was going and going and going, and just like it was a lot of things that were undone in my life. But stopping and failing was never an option, especially when you're a mom. Like, anybody that just like, well, I give up, you can't. Even when I was going through the addiction phase and the depressed phase, I still had to, my kids never saw it. Not saying they didn't feel it, but they never saw it. I didn't bring certain things around them. And if they heard it, my kids on go. They totally different than me. They be like, oh no, we ain't. They just like, they're the greatest kids. So I'm grateful that I was chosen to be their mom, because they get it.
Well, it's good to see that you're back with a new single and that you're back in the A. Are you shooting a music video for Broken Heart?
We're going to do a video for Broken Heart, but we have another single that I'm waiting for it to come through the phone and be like, the mix, all right, approved, let's go. We have a video that we're going to shoot down here, because let's be real, Atlanta's wide open, and there's some beautiful people down here. And I remember New York used to be, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. No, come to the A. If you want to go to the next leg, to the next level, hello, period, because Atlanta is where it is right now.
Yep.
LA is popping, but Atlanta is the place to get. I don't know what it is, but it's openness, and it still has that southern hospitality, but it still has that, it's no gray area. Either they rock with you or they don't.
And one thing that I have to say that I see the difference being from New York and then coming to Atlanta is that when it comes to the music industry, when it comes to music, like, people from Atlanta really put on for people in Atlanta. Like,
they do.
They're going to help each other. They're going to feature on a song. They're going to play it. And Atlanta going to
let you ask somebody from New York,
love.
Can you come to my,
No.
well, what's it paying? Well, what's it paying?
Yeah.
Oh, who else going to be there?
Or
who else going to be there?
How can I get on top of you to step on you to get to the next level? Not like, let's lock arms and let's get it together. Let's get this money together. But Atlanta shows love.
And if you think about it, this is where all the marches, Martin Luther King was down here marching for everybody. This is where everybody really, the camaraderie and the even if it's not saying, oh, you don't have to be best friends to support or salute.
Yep.
The salute and love down here is different. Like, you could feel it. I'll go someplace, they be like, Lil Mo up in this Joe. Let me go somewhere near. They be like, oh, hey, hey, what's up, Mo?
Like, put some respect on my name.
Yeah,
okay?
people just act like you regular, and it's not about like trying to be clout chasey or like thinking that you're bigger or better than somebody. But put some like, I got stats on the board. I got years in the game. People be having one song and be thinking, they'll be like, wait a minute, I bid that everyone makes it and lasts, but it takes you putting other people in position to go up higher. And a lot of people don't do that up north.
One of the questions I had for you, you actually spoke about briefly before in the beginning. I wanted to know, who would you want to do a versus battle with?
Who's some people? Because everybody that I just be Lil Wayne. I don't know. I don't know who I could battle. I don't even want to do a battle, because people don't know, like, if we have to pull our catalog, they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know you had nothing to do with that." I'd be like, "Oh yeah, please don't sleep. Go check the credits."
Yeah.
But I would love to do like
You wrote some of Ja Rule's.
yeah.
I know
But
that.
I wouldn't want to do like a versus battle. I would like to do like, if we do a versus, let's just start from the beginning of my catalog and work to be like, oh my God, I forgot about that. Like how they did with D'Angelo. When he just said, I loved that vibe. Like I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. Because it's not what I say or what I did. I just want to make people feel like, remember this song? And I love, honestly, admiring from afar and just watching the legends get their flowers. That's like the ultimate, like now that we lost DMX, just watching that verse, now you respect it.
Yes.
And you honor them even more. So if I did one, I would want them to just like have me on there playing some songs and be like, do y'all remember this? Them flowers that people been giving, that's enough for me. I don't need to go against nobody. I'm my own competition, period.
Well, thank you so much, Lil Mo, for
Man, this was
stopping
fun.
by. We had such a good
Thank you.
interview. As we end this, just tell everyone what you have going on and what they can look forward to.
Everyone can download my single Broken Heart right now. It's available on all streaming platforms. Don't you be like, well, I looked it up. No, it's everywhere. You can click the link in my bio. All my social media handles and pages are at The Lil Mo Show. TheLilmoshow. I can be found there. Actually, I have a show in Atlanta on Juneteenth, which is like National Black People Day. Let's go. Everybody need to see everybody there.
Yes.
Because I'm really selective on when I go outside. So I'm coming down here for a big concert. You can click the link in my bio. Everything is there. It's at the, I think it's B22 Park. It's outside.
Yes.
So it's like, it's lit. Come on out, because when I say I'm going to show out, because I haven't sang in a year, yeah, be prepared. Have your wig plastered down, because I'm singing wigs off. We going up.